You don't have to. A non-Jew can get to heaven. Let's not say saved. Let's say get to heaven. A non-Jew can be what's called a righteous Gentile. A righteous Gentile. Everybody write those words down. Righteous Gentile. That's what we're talking about. A non-Jew can become a righteous Gentile, do what God wants them to do according to Judaism. They will be following Judaism, because this is according to Judaism. No other religion says this. By following what's called the 7 Mitzvahs B'nai Noach. The 7 commandments of the children of Noach. And who was Noach? He was the guy on the boat. And why are they named after him? I'm not sure, because the truth is 6 of them were given to Adam. There are 7 laws. I'll get to them and I'll enumerate them in a second. But for right now, there's 7 laws, and they have like a whole bunch of details, and it's very thick. It's very comprehensive. If you ever get a book that goes into all the details, did you have to read this book? Did you have to learn
which?
But like, the details of the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach.
Oh yeah, I mean I can list them off in my sleep.
No, but I mean the details.
Oh yeah, there are books that elaborate them, which they become hundreds of laws.
Yeah, it's hundreds of laws. It's like, if you picked up the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, or you picked up some halacha sefer, and you open it up, it's like, thousands of things you got to do, right? And for the non-Jews, it's equally as comprehensive. There's a lot there to know.
Yeah.
And it's called the 7 Mitzvahs of the children of Noach. 6 were given to Adam, and the 7th one was added in the times of Noach, and to Noach when he came off the boat. And then those are the 7 mitzvahs that Noach had, and those are the 7 mitzvahs that still apply today. The Jews, on the other hand, we went to Mount Sinai. We received the 613. We received the 10 Commandments. This is a big misconception, by the way. Non-Jews, the 10 Commandments is not for them. The 10 Commandments has nothing to do with non-Jews. Non-Jews have the 7 mitzvahs of the children of Noah. That's what they're commanded to do. 10 Commandments are only for Jews. Everyone needs to know that, because it drives me crazy when I hear all the time, but the 10 Commandments are for everybody. No, the 10 Commandments are for Jews. We're the only people that were given the 10 Commandments. For instance, Shabbos is one of the 10. What's so funny? What's going on?
Nothing. It's not the chat room. I'm just thinking, yeah, it's so true what you're saying. Like, there's no need for the guy to keep Shabbos.
No, they're not even allowed to keep Shabbos. If a non-Jew keeps Shabbos, they're what's called...
In the same way that a Jew does.
In the same way that a Jew...
So Seventh-day Adventists keep Shabbos, but they don't keep it anywhere like a Jew does, so it's not a problem.
Shabbos is a gift that was given to the Jews by God. That is a possession of the Jewish people. When the non-Jews try to keep Shabbos, they're infringing on the property of the Jews. And anyone who steals, that's stealing. And stealing, is also one of the 10 Commandments. And it's one of the 7 mitzvahs. And it's punishable by death. So this is the truth. If a non-Jew keeps Shabbos the way a Jew does, doesn't flip on and off the lights, doesn't drive a car,
makes Kiddush,
the whole Ganze Geschäft.
Sing Shalom Aleichem.
They do the whole. Have a woman sing it. Well, you like that, and they do the whole thing. They're chayav misa. They get the death penalty. That's stealing. So by the way, anybody who's in the conversion process will know this. The rabbi will always say, "Well, make sure you do a little something to break Shabbos every week while you're non-Jew. Flip on a light somewhere, because you shouldn't end up that you kept Shabbos, because then it's a question, it's the death penalty. You just stole something from the Jews. So the Sabbath doesn't belong to Goyim. All right, I got into some detail there. What are we talking about? Okay, now last week we talked about how stepping stones to becoming a Jew, and my opinion is what I consider the Torah opinion is. There is only one stepping stone to becoming a Jew. Okay? I see what happened just now. There was a delay. There's only one stepping stone to becoming a Jew. Do not go to Reform or Conservative or Jews for Jesus or whatever you want. That's not a stepping stone. The stepping stone to getting a kosher conversion is to practice the 7 mitzvahs b'nai Noach. The 7 mitzvahs, you get good at that, You understand that, you get the concept, that's the stepping stone. Then you can take the next hurdle and go for a conversion. But you don't have to, there's no requirement, and you can be very happy just being a
Noahide.
A Noahide. What's wrong with being a Noahide? We'll get into that in a second. Now, I'm going to list quickly the 7. Or do you want to do it?
Oh, I can do it. Don't go around publicly denying God's existence. Do not worship idols. Do not commit the following sexual sins: adultery, incest, homosexuality. You must set up courts of law. Don't eat the limb of the living animal. Do not kidnap or steal. And do not murder.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
This is the test he had to do when he got converted.
I'm available for weddings and bar mitzvahs.
All right. So basically, a few of those sound familiar, right? They sound because they're from the Ten Commandments: murder, stealing. You went into what's called, it's usually referred to as sexual immorality.
Yeah.
And you listed off 3. There's a 4th one.
Incest, adultery.
Okay, now wait. Let's go through it slow together so everybody understands. Incest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Incest means like you had sexual relations with your immediate family, like your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your son or your daughter, somebody like that. Immediate family, right? Who else? That's incest.
I don't know.
The next one after incest.
Adultery.
Adultery. What's adultery?
A married woman.
A married woman has relations with
someone else.
With somebody else.
Anyone else.
Okay, so let me just poke into this for a second, okay? If it's a married man and he has sex with
an unmarried woman, it's not adultery.
That's not adultery. So did President Clinton ever have adultery?
No.
Never did President Clinton ever have adultery.
Not with Monica.
Oh, not with Monica.
I'm sure actually he did commit adultery many times with many women. But not with Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, and like when he was trying to get Paula Jones out of her pants.
Yeah.
Wasn't she married?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so that could have been proper.
But, I mean, there are a lot of women that marry
Okay. But when he was with Monica, that's not adultery at all.
Yeah.
Even if he went all the way.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
According to this, that's not a problem. Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay, well, we're on the thing of adultery, right? So it's a married woman with a guy who's not her husband. For Jews, this is all really Judaism, right? And for Jews, when we talk about the 613 mitzvahs, we have a thing about marriage. Marriage is, there's actually a formality, there's a formal system of getting married, you have Kedushin, you have Erusin, right? They have a contract and the whole thing, right? So we know who the wife is. That's wife. There's no such concept, according to Torah, for non-Jews.
Correct.
There's no marriage. There's civil marriages in America, right?
Yeah.
But according to Judaism, what constitutes a marriage for non-Jews? Theoretically, they're living together. Do they have to go through any hoops like we make Jews do? No. They're living together. That's like a marriage. It's taking a man, it takes a woman into his home, and that's his wife. Now it gets tricky, and I don't know the answers to these, to be honest. If somebody out there
are rabbis who do.
There are, right. If somebody wants
just because we don't know something doesn't mean there aren't answers.
This is my own question that I have, because I'm not the expert on Noahide laws. I'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to this. If somebody does out there, and you can quote me something to look up, I would be more than happy to look it up, and we'll discuss it next week.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Common law. Jerry Buss, not Jerry Buss. Who's the coach of the Lakers? Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson's coach of the Lakers. He's been living for 10 years with the daughter of the owner, Jenny Buss, and she referred to it in an interview this year as her common law husband. Right? Yeah. They haven't had an official wedding, but they're husband and wife, according to her.
Yeah.
What if they didn't have a common law? What if they just lived together? What if a man and a woman lived together for a week? They're non-Jews, right?
Well, I think perhaps an answer would be what is law of the land. So I think it takes 2 years of living together to make a common law marriage.
Is that right?
At least in some states.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, if you live together for 2 years, you're married in certain respects.
Okay, so we don't give it that in America. We don't give it that that air of respect. We don't take it to that next level.
No, but it's like if you then split, the wife is entitled to the same.
Right. That was the Mitchell case. I remember that when I was a kid. The Mitchell case.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look into that and see if that applies.
Yeah.
If we hold by Dina Malchusa Dina, if we